And now on BBC Two, moments from a century of cinema that have made an impression.
I've picked what I think is one of the most famous film clips in the history of Hollywood, and that is the scene at the beginning of Sunset Boulevard, where William Holden, playing the fabled scriptwriter Joe Gillis, is lying face down dead in the pool of the great mansion owned by the faded film star Norma Desmond, who's just shot him.
The poor dope. He always wanted a pool. Well, in the end, he got himself a pool. Only the price turned out to be a little high.
Well, I saw the film when it first came out in 1950. It had a tremendous impact on me, from which I think I've never properly recovered. I was 20 years old and I was a medical student, but I knew that I was going to become a writer, and the sort of writer I wanted to be was Joe Gillis. And the idea of dying face down in the pool, of a great mansion in Beverly Hills struck me as something sort of worthy of Puccini.
Joe!
The fact that the ending is tragic made it all the more appealing, of course. Of course, at the age of 20, I was deeply impressed by strong-willed older women, and someone as sort of magnificent as Gloria Swanson. And I think the character she played, Norma Desmond, reminded me very much of the dragon ladies I knew as a child in Shanghai, who wore magnificent fur coats and drove around in chauffeur-driven cars. I mean, exquisitely made up and rich Chinese women with iron wills. And I think when I saw Sunset Boulevard after coming to England, the Gloria Swanson character instantly reminded me of all these dragon ladies of my childhood, and still does.
Stars are ageless,
I think another very important point about this clip is the swimming pool itself. Back in the 1940s and 1950s, private swimming pools were almost unknown in Europe, except among the very rich. And to die in one's own private swimming pool, this symbol of fame and luxury and achievement, was, it was a death fit for the gods. For years after seeing Sunset Boulevard, whenever I found myself in a pool, I dipped my hat to Joe Gillis and Sunset Boulevard by lying face down in the pool for a few seconds and imagining myself in a pool in Beverly Hills. In fact, I never made it to Hollywood as a screenwriter, but I did arrive by a different route when one of my novels, Empire of the Sun, was filmed. And nearly 40 years later, I actually found myself swimming in a pool in Beverly Hills, and I was tempted to lie face down and pretend to be Joe Gillis, but I didn't. I thought whatever gods preside over Beverly Hills might regard it as going over the top, and I might be punished by a heart attack.
Well, this is where you came in. Back at that pool again. The one I always wanted. It's dawn now, and they must have photographed me 1,000 times. Then they got a couple of pruning hooks from the garden and fished me out, ever so gently. Funny how gentle people get with you once you're dead. They beached me like a harpooned baby whale and started to check the damage just for the record.